Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing well. Hey, this past weekend was so much fun, guys. So much fun. I did so much. I actually developed film and I will be showing some of those images coming up in the next few episodes. I'm reviewing quite a few cameras alongside each other. But I went to my favorite thrift store. They had a small little collection for me. So that was fun. I got it and I'll be sharing that in the next video. What I wanted to share with you in this video really is my experience in two of the antique malls that I go to in Edmonton, and those are my favorite antique malls. I want to go through that experience with you guys. Oftentimes I talk about it, I show cameras that I get from there, and I don't really get to show how it feels like to be inside those antique malls. I tell you guys, it's such a great hobby. If you are bored at home, there is no excuse for you to be bored. Get out there, get into some antique malls, get into some thrift stores. You'll be surprised what you may find. You will find it thoroughly enjoyable and even therapeutic. That's how I feel. Every time I feel a little stressed and I go in there, I don't have to buy anything. And to be honest with you, this visit, I didn't buy anything, although there were lots of things. I don't buy, I just go in there just to look at things, check on things, and if I see that one thing that is on sale, maybe good deal, then I may buy it. If not, I don't force myself to buy every time I go there, so you don't have to spend money every time you go to these malls. Just go out there, go have fun, and that's exactly what I did. And I wanted to share that experience with you. I will be doing voiceovers on this video as we go, so let's hit it. So this is the outside of the Rocky Mountain Antique Mall. One of my, I would say it's probably my second favorite antique mall. Just beautiful. You go in there and you see rows and rows of just stuff, lots of interesting things. Every time I go in there, I feel like I'm a kid in a candy store. Here, for example, is I think it's World War II memorabilia. I'm not into that kind of stuff, but nevertheless, I found it quite interesting. There was actually one device that I found which piqued my interest, and that was this reel-to-reel recording device here. It looked like a cassette tape recorder, but it's actually a reel-to-reel system. I'm interested in getting something like that for my studio. However, the only reason why I didn't get this was because it didn't have the proper inputs for my system in my music studio. I'm looking for one that I can plug in directly from my digital system just to give it that bright and interesting analog sound, but this wasn't quite it. It only has a mic input, and so I didn't get it. Another thing I'm fascinated about is radios and little cassette tapes, systems like this one. I didn't get this one because it's FM and AM, which I am actually not very much interested in. I actually want one with shortwave radio. So this one here, I already have this camera, but it was interesting nevertheless to look at it. It was a bit pricey, $23, a little too pricey, so I just passed on. The other thing is when I go to the mall, I just don't allow myself to feel the pressure to buy anything. I often go there with just to look at things, and that's the attitude I go in there with. Otherwise, I will end up with too much stuff. So some interesting things to look at. Never a turn without seeing something interesting, like these. Oh boy, these guitars, I've been eyeing them for a while. As a musician, I'm into guitars. As you could see behind me in my studio, I have quite a collection there. Interesting little figurines there. This box of photos was actually very, very interesting to look at. They were selling the photographs, individual photographs, which I thought was quite interesting. But for me as a photographer, the thing that really amazes me is the quality of the photos. Just seeing that these photos are from the 30s and the 40s, and they were of such amazing quality several decades later. It's just incredible. And to be honest with you, just try printing a photo from your modern cell phone and you will still not be able to match the quality of some of these images. Some of them have this texture, it's the matte finish, matte, amazing look, just sheen on them, sharpness was on point. This particular photo was my favorite. This is the camera cabinet, guys, the camera cabinet. A lot of these cameras, unfortunately, are quite overpriced, but they're nice to look at. This particular camera, I've seen it a few times, I've been there. I'm not interested in owning it per se. I like my cameras to look good. It's probably a decent camera, but I'm somehow not interested in it. This particular one, the Freedom Zoom, I already own that. I'm actually selling it as well. This camera in particular is way too overpriced. This Olympus, way too overpriced. It's I think $120. That's ridiculous. And I own that Pentax as well, the Super Program. What else? Yeah, this one I may get it eventually. It's a good price as well, $68. It comes with a lens, but for now it's just a little too rich for my blood. So here's the next mall. This is my favorite antique mall, the Old Strathcona Antique Mall, the biggest one in Alberta, they say. So going through the doors is like it's a familiar place to me. It's really two-level, huge place.
Very, very expensive.
These ones here are the negative holders that you use in a darkroom. They come in different sizes for different frames that you get from different cameras. These bags were empty, unfortunately. I love radios, guys. Radios, and this is an 8-track machine, I think, with a sound system. And there's this bunch of projectors. I'd already owned quite a few of them, so I'm fine when it comes to projectors. I saw a few other cameras, the usual stuff, the Minolta Freedom, which is a good camera, but I think I have this one. I actually own this one as well. Now this cabinet here always has had some interesting cameras. They're not always in the best shape, but they're interesting, alright. Other than that, so there are a whole bunch of different cameras. For now, I decided to walk away without buying anything. Hey, so I hope you did enjoy that video. I enjoyed my experience at these malls, and shout out to the malls. I've become quite a fixture at these malls because every time I go to Edmonton, I stop by, I go through with my family sometimes, and it's fun, guys. It's a wonderful hobby. It's good, it's healthy, it doesn't hurt anybody. So I enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why don't you leave this video a like? And if you haven't subscribed, there's a ton of stuff coming on this channel. You may want to subscribe to this channel, and I would really appreciate it as well. Hey, so I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, guys, stay safe.